Welcome to this quick tutorial on checking BPM of songs. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you 3 programs that I use to check BPM of songs that I can compare between the 3 of them. The 3 softwares that I'll be using in this tutorial is the MixMaister BPM Analyzer, then VirtualDJ, and the final one is FL Studio. Let's get into it. So the first software we're going to use is called the MixMaister BPM Analyzer. I've provided the link in the description. So after downloading it, you're going to extract the folder, then you're going to get this folder, just open it, then you're going to begin the installation of the BPM Analyzer. Just say next, don't need to change anything. Then we're gonna launch it. So this is how the interface of MixMaister looks like. So for some reason you're unable to drag and drop tracks. I don't know why. And also you're unable to load individual tracks. So the only thing you can do is load tracks from a folder. So what I'm gonna do, we're gonna be using these 2 tracks to analyze their BPM, and then I'm just gonna put these 2 tracks into a folder. Let me just call it samples. I'm going to drag them in here, still unable to drag the folder, and then I will just load it from here. Gonna go on my desktop, gonna look for samples, then I'm gonna say okay. So what it's gonna do is gonna load every song in this folder. As you can see in this folder samples, I have 2 tracks. Then it's gonna begin analyzing the BPM. So it's quite a simple interface. You have the name of the file you loaded, and its BPM is 113, and you also have this track which is also 113. And you must remember from our previous video that when we use VirtualDJ, we also get the same BPM. Now that you are done with the BPM Analyzer, you're gonna move to our second software, which is VirtualDJ. So VirtualDJ, you're just gonna load it and close this one. So yes, our VirtualDJ, as I showed you in the previous video, also gonna do the same thing. You can just take these 2 tracks and we drop them into VirtualDJ. As you can see, here's our BPM 113, and that's how we use VirtualDJ to get our BPM. Now, third software that we'll be moving to is FL Studio. Let me launch it. So FL Studio has multiple ways that you can analyze the BPM, and I will show you all the various ways that I know how to check the BPM of a track. So I'm gonna load the same 2 tracks again into our playlist. So here's our 2 tracks. So the first way I'm going to show you how to check the BPM. Basically what you do is come here on this little icon, top left corner of the track is next to the name of the file. When you click on it, you're going to come here on edit sample. When you are on edit sample, when it doesn't have the track, sometimes you just show blank here under tempo. So what you're gonna need to do, you're gonna right click on this thing in the tempo. When you right click, it will open up this pop-up window. When you are on this pop-up window, this is what you'll be using to detect the BPM of the track. You're gonna come here under this tab of tempo, you're going to come on auto detect, going to left click on it, then you're gonna come here on the middle one which says detection for songs with constant tempo. Then when you click on this, it's gonna begin analyzing the BPM. As you can see on the left, is analyzing the BPM. Once it's done, it will give you the correct BPM here, which is this 113. now we have our correct BPM. So now what you're gonna need to do, just click on accept. And when you have click on accept, unfortunately when you click on accept, it won't automatically stretch our track. So what you're gonna need to do is do like what I showed you in our previous video, which is come here to fit to tempo, type in BPM, then 113. Then once we do that, that's when it will actually start stretching our track to the project BPM, which is 130. So we should take this 113 and move it to 130. Yes, so that was the first way of how to check BPM. The second way you can do that, just double click on the track. Once you have double click on it, you're gonna come here on this tab under time stretching. You'll see there is mode. Under mode, it has a drop down. When you click on the drop down, under real time, we have two options. We have resample and stretch. You need to click on stretch. Once you have done that, now you're gonna come to the time. Once you are on the time, you're going to right click, and when you right click, you're gonna come here and auto detect. Click on auto detect. And once you are on auto detect, what I normally like to do, I haven't exactly figured this out, but the number that I normally use is this third one. It's this option, 75 to 150. So what it's gonna do is, like, once I click on this, it's gonna start detecting the BPM of the track, and it's gonna start from 75 to 150. So if the BPM of the track falls outside 75 and 150, then it means it might give me the incorrect BPM. But since most songs that I use are between 75 and 150, I'm most likely going to get that correct BPM. So what do? Just click on 75 to 150. As you can see on the left, it's analyzing it. Once it's analyzed, and the fun thing about this one, once it has analyzed, I don't need to come to the track and do the fit tempo. No, this one automatically adjusts the tempo of the track to the tempo of the project. So this is my preferred way of how I always stretch my tracks when I'm using FL Studio. So yeah, that's the final way that I can show you how to stretch tracks with how to find BPM of a track using this method. Oh yes, and there's something I forgot to explain as to why on the mode I need to change that, and why I don't choose resample. The reason for that is when we are stretching our song, we want only the tempo to change. We don't want the melody to change. We want it to keep the same melody but have a different speed or different tempo. So that's why we choose that's why here we choose stretch. So if you choose just leave it on resample, when it's on resample, when we actually stretch this, you hear that it actually sounds funny. We don't want that. And that's it from me, guys. That's how I check my BPMs of the songs that I use in my mixes. Just use different programs so I can get to compare the different BPMs to make sure I have the correct BPM, so that my songs, they sound perfect, they sound in tune, they mix together, they blend well. So thank you. Check you on my next video, where I'll be talking more about where I get my DJ tools that I use in my mixes. Thank you.